The bill that I support is a bill that we introduced about 2 months ago, or a month and a half ago in Congress. It's called the American Energy Act. It basically has everything from conservation to nuclear, wind, solar, thermal, hydroelectric, biomass, new technology, plug-in cars. It's an all-of-the-above approach, which I happen to think makes the most sense. We ought to be utilizing all of our resources. We ought to be having some incentives for more conservation, for instance, and alternatives. For instance, we support here, I've supported separately, an extension of the tax credit for production of energy from solar and from wind. That's going to expire this year. We need to renew that. I came up with an idea that's incorporated in this bill of $1 billion prize for the first company that produces a car in the United States for which we can sell 60,000 units that gets 100 miles to the gallon. And you can do it various different ways. I mean, we put a lot of money up front. Why not have a prize out there, which is the way that in many cases we've had tremendous advances in the United States. So that's what our proposal is, and we wanted to make sure that there was a vote on this or separate votes on those elements of supply before we went home for the August recess. And we basically said we're not going to vote for an adjournment until we do that. And the leadership of the House, the Speaker of the House, decided that she was going to put an adjournment resolution up, which we fought. They passed it by one vote. All right. We lost on that, so we said at least we should have the opportunity to go on the floor and to make our presentation about what we would have voted on if they'd allowed us to. 105 of us signed up to give speeches on that, to present for the record what it was we were going to do. And instead of allowing that courtesy, which often is extended at the end of a period of time before we go and adjourn, they gavelled the proceedings to a stop and didn't allow us to do that. So the question was, what do we do? We decided to stay on the floor and that we would give our speeches, we'd make our presentations, and we would try and get some attention by the American people as to what we were attempting to do. And in response, the Speaker of the House turned off the lights, turned off the mics, and turned off the TV cameras, which she controls. She does not control C-SPAN in other parts. In fact, if you have a meeting in one of the other rooms of the Capitol, if you happen to have a committee meeting, the general rule is, unless a majority vote on that committee is against it, those TV cameras aren't allowed in. The only place that's controlled by the Speaker of the House is the floor of the House, and she cut those off. So we kept that up for 5.5 hours, attempting to try and make known what our effort was. Look, I'm not guaranteeing this is the perfect solution. I don't say anything's the perfect solution, but it incorporates an all-of-the-above approach, and all we want is straight up or down votes on these sorts of things. And I happen to think the dirty little secret is the Speaker knows there are enough members on the Democratic side of the aisle who want to join us on the Republican side of the aisle that if it comes up on the floor, it will pass because it reflects what the majority of Americans want.